Now we're going to discuss how to do the hard blocks on the inside line and where that leads us. On this first technique, as Roy attacks me, after I get my hard block, I'm going to throw my hip into his groin. That'll put his head right over my shoulder. Both hands come up, grabbing the head. If your partner isn't a good faller, stop here. If he knows how to roll and do a good break fall, slide back, bring him through, follow up with your strike. Let's look at that from this direction again. Hard block, the key is I need his head right on my shoulder. So I check his hip, or check his groin with my hip, go up, step back, let him go, give him a follow-up smack. Next, we're going to introduce you to the concept called looping. It's not real complicated. Looping is just making a nice big circle with your rope. We can do that in the vertical plane. We can also do that in the horizontal plane. In this next technique, we're going to do that in the horizontal plane. After Roy attacks me, I get my hard block. I'm going to loop this way. Now that I have his head captured, I'm going to bring his face firmly down into my knee. Now that he's done, get rid of him. Now I can stand up, do my follow-up strike from the standing position. Let's look at that from the opposite direction. Hard block, loop, knee strike. I can step and throw, or I can push and throw. Either case works just fine and dandy. As an alternate to that, a lot of people will say, what happens if he punches with the other hand? So I do a hard block here, he punches again. I do a hard block there. I have my loop once again, my knee strike, knee to the groin, get rid of him. So you can follow up one hard block with another hard block until you have that opportunity that gives you the best option to get up and around his head. On our next technique, we're going to use that looping concept again. As Roy attacks, I use the back of my arm right into his head. After I do that, I play the loop out horizontally. You take your thumb or your index finger, slide it right into the pressure point. Now I pull on the rope to push on the pressure point. Look at that from the other side. Hard block, back elbow. Immediately follow it up. Insert the pressure point, escort him to the ground. Pull him out. The next technique we've already seen when we first started discussing how to cam to the throat. What's important with this one is watching your footwork. As Roy attacks, I go here. I want to swing that foot around, bring it up over his head. Now, thumbs go down to get your cam to the throat. Let's look at that from this direction. Hard block on the inside. Step around here. Thumb is up. Thumb is now down. Once he's on his toes, we can get rid of him. The final one also has some pretty good footwork. We call this three-step spin to choke. As Roy attacks, Going to do my hard block, I take a second step, a third step, spin around. Now I have him in the giddy up horsey position. I can take him straight down, roll him over, pin, and execute my choke from there. So again, we're working on and around the throat and the neck, so don't be real eager to pull up hard on that rope. You're going to hurt your partner if you do so. Let's look at that one more time. Hard block, there's my first step, my second step, my third step, pull him down and back. You can choke, you can pull back, you can strike. You have lots of options, and working on that hard block on the inside line, these are just a few brief sequences that you can practice to get your skills up to speed.